Welcome to the mumspring show. Welcome to the mumspring show. Let's say together. It's the mumspring show. It's the mumspring show. It's lovely. It's lovely. It's the mumspring show. Welcome to mumspring.
It's the mumspring show where anything is possible.
Candy. Candy. Candy.
Welcome to today's episode of the Mumspring Show. It's Abisola, founder of Mumspring and your host. Today we're talking about where are you, mom? How are you feeling about this motherhood journey? It's true that having children is the best thing or one of the best things you would ever do in your life, but nobody warns you about the profound sense of loss of who you are that happens to some people. Think about it. You're a new mom. You're on call 24 hours a day, maybe breastfeeding every 90 to 120 minutes. You fall in love with your baby, but it seems like you're on a conveyor belt between feeds and nappy changes. Maybe you sometimes forget to shower. Whereas before children, you were ultra efficient at work, high flyer type A. You had great adventures traveling with your friends, and you rarely left home without makeup. Well, that was me. Prior to becoming a mom, I had a successful career. Work was part of my identity. I never left home without my makeup on fleek. And now people think I don't like makeup because I ain't got time for makeup. So post-baby, my identity changed. And at first, there was a sense of loss in what defined me and who I was because I had to rediscover myself. How many of you feel the same? Let's talk about that today. Right, today we have a femme founder who's a mom who's also an entrepreneur. Today we've got Tito Madu-Ibeleme. She's the mother of a 1-month-old baby. Amazing. And she's also an entrepreneur. So today we're going to learn about Tito and her journey in entrepreneurship. Hi, Tito.
Hi. Hi, Abisola.
How are you today?
Very fine, thank you.
Great. So, Tito, tell us about your business. What do you do?
I'm a professional makeup artist, and I have been doing makeup for 8 years.
Wow. And did you just become a mom?
No, I have, this is my second child.
Okay. How old is your first?
He's 18 months old.
Oh, wow. So you've got a toddler who's probably still in diapers.
Yes,
and
I have 2 children under 2.
Wow. Well done, ma. Well done. So, how's it going?
It's going okay. It's going really well. Well, I just finished pumping.
I know about that life.
For the baby, for
the newborn.
storing milk for when I start work. So yeah, that's how it's going right now.
Okay, so what's the plan? To start work and have a repository of milk?
To store in the house before I go to work.
Okay. So that way you can go to work and somebody else can help you breastfeed? Oh, sorry,
exactly.
Help you feed the baby?
Sorry?
I mean, you can't really outsource breastfeeding, but what I mean is so that somebody else in the house can help you feed the baby the milk, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great,
definitely.
great. So what is it like navigating a beauty business in Nigeria? Tell me, since you've been in beauty for 8 years, so before you became a mom, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after you became a mom, what was there a difference and how was that?
Of course, there was a huge difference. I mean, before I became a mom, well, before I even got married, it was a lot easier. You know, I could up and move, do anything I could. Then becoming a mom, obviously, I'm now responsible for these human beings. I can't just make decisions without thinking it through or checking my husband's schedule. Now, because my husband also happens to be an entrepreneur, so we work around our schedules. We try to check our schedules before we book dates down. So that's how it works for us. Days where I'm working, I let him know earlier in time before I book it, so that he doesn't book that day. And that way he can stay home with the nanny and take care of the children. So yeah, there's been a huge difference. Obviously, more responsibilities now than I had prior to having my children.
When you said that, it made me think of to whom much is given, much is expected. So it sounds like because you now have many of these blessings, the husband, the kids, you need to balance, you need to do more to keep everything in balance and with the business and all of that. But it's amazing that you and your husband have found a way to share the responsibility and, not make it so hard on one or the other. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. So did you, as a woman, raising money for your business, did you have to raise financing, or were you self-funded when you started?
Did I have to? Sorry,
did you have to get that? In order to finance your business, how did you do it?
I am self-funded. When I started, I have 2 degrees. I studied when I went to do my master's. I was working. Oh, wow. So while working and schooling, I was saving up funds to dive into my beauty business proper. And by the time I was done with my master's, I had enough money to fund myself. So I'm funded by myself.
Wow, well done. That sounds like commitment and a lot of planning. Yes. And it's interesting that you started out with commitments, because I find that with entrepreneurship, that's probably one of the things that keeps you staying in the game longest, is the commitment, the drive. So even already starting with making those sacrifices is clear that you were made for this entrepreneurship journey.
It's very clear that you have to make sacrifices.
Some people just think, be your own boss. How hard can it be?
It's a scam. Don't be your own boss.
Original scam. That's what I say. In running your business, I'm sure there's been, highs and lows. So we want to hear about that. What has been your biggest mistake, and what did you learn from it?
Mistake. My biggest mistake. I think my biggest mistake would be underrating myself. When I started the journey, I used to think, I wasn't good enough. I used to always try to compare myself with, other artists and not really focusing on my growth. And after a while, I had to realize by myself that wasn't letting me grow. That wasn't letting me enjoy my journey. So at some point, I stopped looking at people. I was getting inspired by people's work, but I then stopped comparing myself to other artists and focused on my business, on my growth, learning to be better than I was.
I see.
That would have to be one of the great mistakes I made earlier in my career.
I've found that one of your biggest competition is yourself. It's not other people. It's how far do you think you can get, and you can get there. And as far as your eyes can reach, that's where you can go. It's not about others. And then on the flip side, what has been your most exciting entrepreneurial moment?
It will have to be when my work came out on Vogue magazine.
Sorry, what did you just say? You were on Vogue?
My work.
Wow.
I did Abisola told me his makeup for the cover of Vogue that came out this last year.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. That was a very high point in my career.
Well done. Good for you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So how big is your team?
How big is my one?
Is it just you? Do you have a team?
So the makeup industry can be funny. A lot of people are not willing to work for long.
Yeah, it's not a high turnover.
Sometimes when people feel like they've mastered what how to do, they just, start their own business. So at the moment, before I even went on maternity leave, I let go of everyone that wanted to go, so that when I'm done this year as a fresh start, I can recruit more people. But as at November last year, I had a team of, including myself, 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you find that maternity is almost like an opportunity to almost maybe revamp and maybe restructure a bit?
Yeah. Especially when I go on maternity leave, I really allow myself rest, and nurture my baby so that when I get back to work and I get back fully, I'm not feeling guilty.
Yes. I think it's important that to be present in whatever moment you're in. So if you're in maternity, be full in. If you're working, you can now be full in as well. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. And in the time when I'm resting, I'm trying to restructure my business. I'm trying to think of better ways to come back.
But isn't it funny how we entrepreneurs, when we're supposed to be resting, you low-key be thinking of how you're going to rearrange something.
You can't be resting 24 hours of the day. Now, maybe 2 hours of the day, you think of how you're going to do something. How you're going to be productive and how you're going to make money.
Yes. She said like a true femme founder. If you could do this over this whole journey of entrepreneurship, where would you focus your energy the most? If you had the opportunity to just basically go back in time and do your business all over again and come back to this point, is there anything you would fix?
I would probably not do the masters in economics that I did.
Really? Why not?
I would have probably done an MBA rather than masters in economics.
So please do tell, because I have an MBA, and in my mind I'm thinking, you know what I know. So what do you think is missing? What's left?
I don't think I know what you know, because I'm still thinking of going back to do like a short course in business for SMEs. I feel like if I had done an MBA, I wouldn't have needed to think of doing it now. And to be honest, when I went to do my master's, I wasn't really thinking of what I wanted to do. I just did what my mom wanted me to do.
I see.
So that would be something I want to change and get hold of it.
Yes.
Own what I want to study. And that's even what I'm telling my younger sister now. She's going to do her master's, and I'm like, make sure it's not my mom's voice in your head. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're going to do something you want to do. Yeah. I haven't studied entrepreneurship,
Yes. So I think that personally, I think the biggest value of, I guess, a further degree or a further course is making sure that you have a true sense of what you want to do with it afterwards, because then you start to look at all your courses from the context of how you are planning to apply it, not just knowledge. But yeah.
So that's the only thing I feel like I would do differently. Every other thing I'll leave.
And I was just wondering, because you mentioned a challenge about high turnover in your industry. I wonder if there's a way, and we don't have to answer it on this call, but I wonder if there's a way to take advantage of that high turnover and turn it into a strength for the industry or for your business, where you know that people are going to, there's probably a time frame that they feel like, okay, after 6 months or 9 months they've mastered it. Is there a way you can structure either a program or a traineeship program in your business such that you already expect that, okay, 7 months is what you are here for, you will leave, and the next person would have come on board, so it's already part of your model, so it doesn't shock your systems. I wonder.
That's the thing. Sometimes some of them are not even honest enough to tell you how long they want to stay. You get. I remember one of my employees had said, "Okay, you have a year's contract. Are you available to stay 1 year? I mean, if the 1 year exhausts and you still want to stay, then we can renew your contract. Otherwise, 1 year." She's like, "Yeah, I won't stay for 1 year. In fact, I won't stay for 5 years." I'm telling you, this girl, this day up to 4 months, and she's already asking to leave.
Wow.
The only thing is that she didn't give me enough notice, so she didn't get her salary for that month, and she was still questioning why I didn't give her salary.
It's like, you did not give notice, ma'am. That's so interesting.
Even when you think you can, go around it, it's just, it's God, to be honest. I think the next thing I'm going to do is, before I employ, I'm going to really commit it to God and maybe have 2 or 3 people interview whoever it is to help me
get other opinions.
I'm not seeing another person might be seeing it.
So in case there's any implicit bias or anything, you can solve for that. Anyways, this has been an amazing conversation. Thank you so much. In case there's any mom out there listening and thinking, I've always wanted to do something in the cosmetics business, do you have any tip or 2 for her?
I would say don't one of the things that's happening now where people want to still come into the makeup industry, people say there are a lot of makeup artists. Don't listen to them. If you have a passion for the beauty industry, come in. Everybody, people still going to study engineering, medicine, economics every day. Right. It doesn't matter how many they are. So if it's your time, it's your time. If it's something you're passionate about, come in and work hard for it.
And there will be entrepreneur. There are close to 200 million people in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Whatever business it is that you want to do, I'm sure we can find clients. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tito, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. I had an amazing time.
Amazing time with you.
Yeah, same here.
All right. And now we're going to move on to the next segment, which is with our 9 to 5 Shira.
Welcome to the Mumspring Show. Welcome to the Mumspring Show. Let's say together. It's the Mumspring Show. It's lovely. It's the Mumspring Show. Welcome to Mumspring.
It's the Mumspring Show, where anything is possible.
Candy. Candy.
All right, welcome to today's episode of the 9 to 5 Shira. Today we've got Titi Akinsanmi, the lead government affairs and public policy for West and Francophone Africa at Google. Wow. Inspire, inform, involve, impact. These are 4 simple but complexly connected words that describe Titi's life mission. She's a thought leader in public policy and affairs on the digital economy sector in Africa. She's focused on shaping an enabling environment needed for innovative and thriving African digital economy. Over the last 20 years, Titi has initiated, managed, and led delivery on projects and initiatives for ICT and development, ICTs in education, telecom value-added products and services across 35 countries globally. This experience that she's had spans both the public and private sectors, working and or consulting with a range of international institutions, including Afri-NIC, the World Bank Institute, IICD, Mindset, UNGAID, UNECA, SchoolNet Africa, and MTech Communications. That's not all. She's a Berkman Klein Fellow at Harvard University. She holds a degree in Public and Development Management and is currently pursuing a master's in law. She is married and blessed with 2 daughters. Moms, we're in good company today. Stay tuned as we talk to Titi and hear about her journey and how she's accomplished all these feats while being a mom. All right. Titi, thank you so much for being part of the Mumspring Show today. We've just introduced you to our guests, and they're really excited to hear all about you. So, how did you get started on this, your amazing journey of the past 20 years and all this impact you've had? What was your first job? How did you get started?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Abisola. It's a real pleasure being here. I always say that, how did I get started? It started with what you could either call an insult, a challenge, or, just facing reality. I was in my final year, it was my final year of university, ultimate one. And a friend had bought a computer. I went to Great Fair, and they bought a computer, and, they wanted He brought it in and I was super excited, like, oh, wow, you've got a computer. This was in the late 90s. And instantly they told me, don't touch it because, you probably mess it up. You don't know how to make use of it. And I thought, my typical personality, I was going to go like, what do you mean? And then I realized, actually, wait till the last time I touched a computer properly was in GS3. Oh, my goodness. And here I was going into the workforce. Anyway, that led to a realization that I needed to upskill myself. In upskilling myself, I made chin-chin, sold it off, and sent myself to evening computer school. It then got to the point where I realized that it's not just Titi that has this issue. There are a lot of people who are graduating from Nigerian universities and have absolutely no idea the role technology can play in their lives. So I started training people, working with a range of institutions, including NIPTA in its beginning days then under Professor Ajayi. Working with folks like, working as a team with people like Bing as well. And it got to the point where we were very clear that for me, particularly that the intervention needed to begin to happen where government changes their policies. So that more or less, kickstarted this. My very first job was as a TV presenter, a sports presenter in the glory days of Arsenal. I'm still an Arsenal fan, but we will not have that conversation right now. And then, worked for the first mobile value-added services company, MTech then, headed by Chika Umobi, who is now a great investor as well. And then also moved on from there and got a beautiful role out of South Africa. So more or less that's how I started. A lot of volunteering, a lot of self-learning, but a determination that I would be the change that I sought. Wow. At least the catalyst of it.
Wow. So it seems like you had a vision of what the impact you wanted to make, and then you sought after the opportunities or volunteered for them when you found them.
Yes, it sounds, like a bit well laid out right now.
Right.
But sincerely was a lot of, thinking, oh, I can do this, and realizing actually you cannot. And then like, why can I not? And trying to make those happen. And it can be challenging, not being your traditional part. I recall, my parents would ask, okay, so what do we tell people that you do? You are not a lawyer and you are not this. And, I would write this paragraph out for them to be able to, how Niger parents can be now. With all the love and the education they gave, they wanted to be able to say, this is what this child is doing with it. And here's this unconventional child who doesn't give them a neat box to fit their conversations into.
Yeah.
No, it's not medical doctor, it's a lawyer, all of that. Anyway. It got to that point where, I shared with them that this is what I do. I help governments, I help different stakeholders fully grasp the opportunities that abound with technology. And I help technologists interpret the potential that exists so that everybody can understand each other. And then we put the rules in place for people to be able to operate and the innovations to continue to thrive.
Wow.
So in a nutshell, that's what I do. That's what I've done with my life. That's what I continue to do. With my day job in my advisory capacity, that has taken me down many pathways of working for the private sector, the civil society, academia, and of course the one that most people have known now is Google, working with Google. But I'm a very quiet. I was about to use the word influencer, and then I thought, no, it's not about influencing. I'm quiet about the work that I do and the change that I bring, because sometimes, it's critical to be able to create that much impact, and be able to quietly do so. I absolutely love working into meeting rooms. And you have no idea who I am. It used to happen a lot more before, but now it's like there's so many pictures of me out there, Jai. They would be like, who is this small girl that's swinging here?
But that sounds like you're really. It sounds like you're really, you're busy with work. Your hands are full, and somehow you've got this family. How do you make it fit? It sounds like you're two people.
Actually, I firmly believe that, when we're created, I'm a Christian, I'm a born-again Christian. I don't hide that. It's foundational to what I do, a part of what I am. But I firmly believe that each human being, whether you believe or not, are many giftings. There are many things that come inside of you. And I'm a firm believer in your ability to be able to make everything happen. Do you understand? Different phases in life. When we grow up, they tell us, oh, you're going to be a lawyer. And some people have that perception and try to perpetuate it, that that's all you can be a doctor, and that's it. For some people, that's true. But sincerely, I embrace the fact that there are many sides to me. There are many parts to me. And I let that part that needs to thrive the most at any point in time thrive.
Wow.
So for me, yes, I'm super busy. There are lots of, things to be done. But it makes all the difference, right? Being clear that you give that part that needs to thrive that opportunity, or more importantly, you are communicative around your support system that you have around you. And I do have a support system. This year I'm going to have been married 10 years.
Wow,
my husband was very clear when we were dating that this is the kind of human being you are going to be married, right? There's no way I would do this without, I call him the warrior that God has sent me. I call him Olumati. There's no way I can fulfill or do all of what I do without having a key person in my life who is able to tell me, help me draw back or put more of myself in when I need to. So that really has helped. Pre him being in my life, sincerely, was a lot of being able to juggle it. And I always say that, people ask me, so how do you manage this? And I say I don't manage it. That me, I thrive. I don't manage, I thrive consistently.
Wow. You said something really powerful. The fact that, God made us to be able to do many different things, and He's made us multifaceted in a fashion. And sometimes when we try and box everything into one corner, that's what you find, sometimes people feeling like their creativity is getting stuck because they're trying to fit a box or fit a model that other people have laid for them. So you had this boldness, this audacity, I have to say, that I'm saying as a recurring thing throughout everything you say. But I wanted to just ask you a question. So if somebody is a young mom now and is thinking, wow, I want to be able to influence policy, and this, what they're talking about today on the Mumspring show, I didn't even know that was a potential job. Like, this is amazing. What's the next step she should take? Where should she start? What should she start reading about? What should she go learn to be able to start this journey? Because there's so much that still needs to be done in terms of influencing policy.
Oh, absolutely. Where should that person start? Again, clarity of spirit. It's good to have mentors and, people you're looking up to, but you need to be very clear on what it is that you will be doing and the influence you want to be able to bring. It's not just about replicating other people's effort. Of course, the other thing is upskill yourself. I'm open to, mentoring people, etc., and guiding them. When I started off in this sector, there was no clarity like, you're in public policy. You needed to be able to figure it out, largely. So upskill yourself. Second, to having clarity on what exactly it is you want to be able to do. And that clarity might actually just be, I don't know what I'm doing, right? And that's fine.
But be clear on it. Because it's true, if you identify that you don't know, then you now realize that there's a need to go and learn what's possible and what's out there. You're right. So that is a starting point.
Yeah.
All right. So
it does.
Do you think that women entering the workforce are better off than women who started working when you did? So women entering the workforce today.
I think women entering the workforce
in 2020, do you think they're better off than when you entered the workforce back in the 90s?
Is it better than, or they just have more of a voice and more of an egalitarian society? It's still not perfect, but we're in a space where it's easier to express that you don't want to be a part of the norm. But yeah,
So what do you think has changed? So you think things are a lot easier?
Slightly, but I wouldn't use the word a lot easier. Not at all. I would almost say that the fact that you want to be a career woman is more acceptable.
Right.
It's easier because everybody likes money now. You'll be bringing in money. You know what I'm saying? But it's still challenging.
Right.
For those who are not fitting the norm in terms of their ability to be able to sit within the comfortable spaces that society at times assigns to women. So being a teacher, and nothing is wrong with any of those things. Again, be clear on what it is that you want to be able to do, right?
Right.
And such that it's not like, for you to be a powerful woman, you must not be a stay-at-home mom. Excuse me, I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, look, there will come a point in my life, I want to be a kept woman. I want to wake up and not do anything. Adekule Go's lines in his song. I want to be on holiday for 6 months, twice in a year.
Do you understand?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you understand? That's the good life right there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right, I see your point. So it's just because you're a driven, ambitious woman doesn't also mean you don't want to enjoy life too and relax and not have to do it if the option was available.
Exactly, I want to be able to do a whole lot more with my life, but I don't want that to be limited by your perception of my capabilities or my level of influence. or to be limited by the desire that I have to be a mom or not, a wife or not. That doesn't define what I'm able to do.
See, I'm just guessing a lot of, you cannot constrain me in everything you're saying. You cannot be constrained because you're just like, look, if right now I feel like being a mom, that's who I'm going to be. If I want to be a girlfriend to my friends and go on holiday with them, that's who I want to be. And if I'm in wife mode, that's what we're doing. And at the end of the day, since we all have so many dimensions to us as women, as human beings, really, it's important that all these things find creative expression. This has been an amazing, amazing, amazing conversation. You have any words that you want to leave us with?
I live my life by 4 keywords: inspire, inform, involve, impact. Whatever it is I'm doing, whether I'm dressing up to go to an Owambe or, prepping to be able to go, and it's this. This is the other part that, I found with my life, and it's this Latin phrase. It says, Dobito ego cogito, cogito ego sum. I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I am. The ability to consistently question and ask the right, question yourself, ask the right questions in any circumstance or environment makes all the difference to being able to make the right decisions. Not in a contrary way or in a difficult way, but in a way that gets you to the point where you can live and thrive. I think those are the words I can share, and I'm sure you can hear already that, en route to school this morning.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm with my crew.
All the way from Ontario.
Thank you for
on
having
your way
me.
to school with your crew. Well done, ma'am. Thank you.
Say hello.
Hi, guys.
They've been good. They've been extremely quiet.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I feel like we can have more of a conversation, but, we'll talk a bit more later.
All right, then. Thank you so much for joining us. And stay tuned for the next segment. Wow. So I started the conversation today talking about when you become a mom, it's easy to get lost in, all the new responsibility that you couldn't have calculated before you became a mom. And so today I'm going to talk about my experience, my journey into motherhood. So this is Abisola, founder of Mumspring, yours truly. So when I became a mom, I was really excited. I had planned it all, my nursery all planned out. Before I had kids, I was super organized. So I had a spreadsheet of how many diapers, how many months each diaper would last for, how many clothes to buy, how many bottles, the right brand, breast pump ready, everything was set, ready to go. And first of all, this baby was due on the 4th of July. And here comes, I believe we were at 15th of July and she wasn't out here yet. And I was like, okay, what's happening? Are we having this baby or what? That began the uncertainty of motherhood for me. So on the 16th, I reported to the hospital and said, look, I want to have this baby, I'm tired. 3 days later of labor and waiting, she shows up. So that's 3 days of my life just gone, unaccounted for, just in the hospital waiting for a child. And to be honest, that experience kind of epitomizes my journey in motherhood so far. It's been very unpredictable. There's been highs, there's been lows, there's been scary moments. And I remember the first time my daughter fell ill, and I believe my mom was in China, my mother-in-law wasn't in town either. My husband was on his way to work. It was 5 a.m. because he had to go to the mainland to work that day. And I was alone. And with this child running temperature, nobody to take me there. I just started crying. Because I thought, I wake up, relax a bit, chill, chat with my friends, and then feed the baby. And then now she was sick, running the temperature. I had to drive with her to the hospital, just 2 of us. It was kind of hectic, and it was really difficult to plan my days. I remember not relaxing my hair for months because I didn't even remember. I remember I used to do my nails all the time. I was even talking to one of my coworkers the other day that, do you know there was a time I never left my house without makeup, and they were shocked because now maybe I use makeup like 3 times a month because I just don't have the time. You see, when I'm trying to leave the house and one baby is like, okay, mommy, this is what I want to do with your bag today, drag it on the floor, and I have to chase her down, that I'll be doing makeup. But then I also realized that my life is now so much fuller. I have so many more experiences with my kids, and they've learned so much. And to be honest, the journey of motherhood is what has now led to Mumspring for me. And my firstborn inspired the entire concept of Mumspring. My secondborn inspired the foundation, the Mumspring Foundation, because when she was born not breathing, and that led to me researching about newborn death and the complications that can happen when a child is born. And in that journey, I'm realizing that I've found my purpose. So what seemed to have been a chaotic mess in the beginning has now led to a place of peace, a place of calm, a place of leadership for me, and has turned me into a thought leader on newborn health. Who would have thought? And this is me who ran away from being a medical doctor. Somehow, I found my way into health tech. Isn't this interesting? I remember before my dad passed, he had bought a book about obstetrics and gynecology, and I kept telling him, I'm not trying to be a doctor. As in, I dropped biology in school. I don't want to be a doctor. And turns out, my purpose is to help pregnant women and children. Who knew? So it's funny how even the things that happen in life that you can't predict, you can't control, can turn out for your good and for your favor. And and today, even when you listen to our segment with Titi, it was amazing how he just kept coming out about how we're multidimensional. There's so many sides to us. There's the structured side, there's the chaotic side, there's the happy side, there's the calm side, and all of it is beautiful. It's the intricacy and complexity that brings out the uniqueness in each of us. So whatever your motherhood journey is, whatever you're going through, whether you're still trying to find your way and figure it all out and figure out what it means, or maybe it's just been so nice and easy, everybody's experience is different. Whatever it is, your journey is beautiful. Your journey is a blessing. Your journey has created new life. And it's something I've started saying at Mumspring lately, is that the mother is the heart of every home. The home is the heart of every community. The community is the heart of every city. Cities make up the nation, and the nations make up the world. So if you take care of the mother, if she's balanced and she's healthy, you end up having a healthy world. And that's what we're about at Mumspring. Signing out, yours truly, on Instagram at Abisola. Thanks for joining us today on the Mumspring Show.
Welcome to the Mumspring Show. Welcome to the Mumspring Show. Let's stay together. It's the Mumspring Show. It's lovely. It's the Mumspring Show. Welcome to Mumspring.
It's the Mumspring Show, where anything